Hello! Welcome to Anime Mystics. I'm Roman, and tonight I am watching Golden Kamuy Episode 12. So this is the season finale. I say season because it was pointed out to me in our Discord that there is going to be a second season for this in October. So, thank God. I have confirmation for at least one of these shows that there will be a continuation. This has been a really good series. This has been one of the shows that I have actually been looking forward to watching. Like, really looking forward to watching. I look forward to all of them, but there are some where I'm like, I can't wait to watch this show. This is one of them. It's been an interesting series. It's been funny. It's had its serious moments, intense moments, some bad CG here and there. But it hasn't taken away anything from the series, if you ask me. I mean, in the first episode, it kind of caught me off guard how they CG'd the bear and left everything else animated, except for the wolf, whose name I cannot remember right now. Retar, or something like that. But they had him CG'd a couple times. But the first time seeing that bear caught me a little off guard, and it wasn't the best CG, but it also wasn't the worst. I've seen worse. So yeah, nothing really killed the series as far as CG. I know a lot of people were turned off from that CG bear, but I mean, you only got like 3 bears in this show that, like adult bears. The cubs were animated, so I don't see the big deal in having a couple of bad CG bears. But anyway, last episode, Shiraishi, Sugimoto, Asirpa, and her father's friend, whose name I cannot remember, made it to this one town. I cannot remember the name of it. You should know by now I don't remember names very well to anything. We start off seeing this guy dressed as a woman down in a kind of like a dungeon area where he has killed this guy. His head is in like a bucket or barrel, and the woman is chained down, and he's like got his shirt off, and he's got his hair all up like a woman and stuff, and he's got makeup on. We all know he's killing her, and he does. The next day, you see our gang of heroes at a ammunition shop where they're buying guns and ammo and a few grenades. And Shiraishi asks the guy, we've been traveling for quite a bit. Do you know a place where we can go and stay, at least for the night? And he brings up that there's this new hotel that, a hotel that has just been, just gotten a new owner, a young woman, and that it's a good place to go. The guy also mentions that she's single and very beautiful, so Shiraishi is looking forward to going to this place. We go to the hotel and see the woman, who was the guy we saw in the beginning. And she's talking to a customer who's come in. And it turns out to be the big dude with the samurai guy. I cannot remember his name. I need to look this up. Give me a second. I'm tired of saying this dude, that guy. Would help if I spelled it correctly. Golden Kamuy. Do that. Okay. Let's see. Names. Ushiyama. Okay, so Ushiyama was there. And he's already trying to put the moves on her. Asking questions, I heard you were a widow. And that the previous owners were an old couple, and he's got an answer for everything. The hotel was given to her by her husband. The old couple were her husband's parents. She takes him to a room, and Ushiyama is basically making it known that he wants to have sex with her. So it's very easy to figure out when he like slams his hand against the wall, with her pinned against it, and he just says, "Let me do you." It is not that hard to figure out what he wants. And at that point, Shiraishi and them show up, and he's calling out to whoever owns the place, which is this woman. And she's like, I got other customers I gotta help out, but, we'll talk later. And he says he'll be waiting. So she goes and meets with Shiraishi and Sugimoto and them. And Shiraishi's already doing the same thing, trying to put the moves on her. Telling him that his name, that he's single, he's, a good guy, and all this and that. And just trying to, trying to get something going. She takes them to their rooms, I should say, because they have to split the rooms, 2 different rooms. I think Asurpa and Sugimoto are in one, and Shiraishi and the other guy are in the other. What is the other guy's name? Do I have Is this him? I guess I can't check because stupid my anime list is still having issues from their whatever they were working on. It might be that guy. Kiroranke? I don't know if that's his name or not. That doesn't sound familiar, but it's probably him. I'm just going to say that other guy. That's easier to say than whatever that was. So she takes them to their room, and he's going off, kind of thinking to himself, okay, what am I going to do now? Ushiyama is here. Shiraishi is here. What is going on? That's when Ushiyama shows up, and he's asking, I've been waiting in my room. What's taking you so long? And she's like, well, I got other guests I got to help out with. And then he just goes and, I think it was at this point, he goes in and kisses her. And she bites his tongue. Causes it to bleed. And she says something, like, I forget like what, but it wasn't something bad. And walks off. And that just makes him even more excited. But he ends up going down to the lobby and actually runs into Sugimoto, the other guy, and Asurpa. Shiraishi has already been captured. He was following her around, trying to, keep talking to her, and ends up in Ushiyama's room, where she's keeping an eye on, because she's got, the walls are hollowed out so she can go through them and look, and it's got peek holes and traps and stuff all over the place. And she uses one of her trap doors to make him go through the floor and down into the basement where she killed that woman and that guy, and injects him with something. It was knocks him out and chains him to this almost like a crucifix almost, but not. And then she leaves. But she plans on killing him. Luckily for Shiraishi, he is a escape artist. But anyway, Ushiyama is with Sugimoto and them, and they're kind of talking. And he asks him, the Asurpa and the other guy call his ears something, and he's like, what is that? And Sugimoto's walking down the stairs, and he's like, oh, that means, it's another way of saying judo ear. It's their way of saying judo ear. Because, those who practice judo end up getting their ears to look like that. He goes, I don't know, for some reason it never happened to me, but, I know a lot of people who's had it happen to. And Ushiyama's like, you know judo? And then they start having, a standoff, I guess to test each other. And Sugimoto realizes that Ushiyama is not somebody to mess with, really. It says that it feels like his center of gravity is below the floor. Then they let go of each other. shake hands, and Ushiyama is like, we should probably stop this before we kill each other. He probably realizes Sugimoto is really good too. And he's like, I like you. Dinners and drinks are on me. Or drinks are on me. And they all go out to eat together. At this point, Ushiyama does not know who he is. So they go out to eat. I think the woman who runs the place was recommending a Chinese place. So they went there. And they got a lot of food. They got a lot of Sapporo beer. I think that's actually where they're at, Sapporo. And then they, for some reason, have conversation about penises. Surupa was trying to take the thing off of his forehead, off of Ushiyama's forehead, and it wasn't coming out. And he told her to grow up to be a good woman, and something about a penis. And she brings up that she saw one at the beach and starts laughing. And Sugimoto was like, "Look, they shrink. Okay, you don't need to worry too much. They get bigger and then they shrink. And." It's weird talking about this, but Ushiyama is like, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, you got to find one that's gentlemanly. And her father's friend is like, yeah, you got to do that. But they end up leaving. They had a good time. Ushiyama's pretty drunk. I think they're all kind of drunk. Even Asurpa looked drunk. And he's looking for the woman that runs the place, but she's already in Sugimoto and Asurpa's room. She wants to steal her eyes. Apparently, when he was a prisoner, and I'm saying he because at this point he was a he. When he was a prisoner, it was an old man who was a doctor who believed that if you ate certain body parts that you would get those body parts, they would transfer to you. And now that he's a she, wants Asurpa's eyes because they're beautiful. He says they're really blue but with a hint of green, and he wants them. And as she's asleep, because she's put some kind of gas in the room to keep them asleep, she's going in to lick her eye, and that's when Sugimoto boots her in the face. And she's upset because she had to keep the gas low to make sure Asurpa didn't die, but it wasn't enough to keep Sugimoto asleep. And he's wondering, what are you doing trying to lick her eye? And she comes up with this excuse that she noticed that she looked a little off when she came in and was just coming in to check to see if she was all right. And he's like, how did you get in here? So I got the door blocked. So how did you get in this room? And that's when she gives away her cover, because what else is she going to do? Well, she doesn't really give it away. Shiraishi had broken out of the basement because Ushiyama found the little corridor in the wall in his room and pulled the lever that opened up the trapdoor, and he jumped down there because he thought that's where she would be, and ended up finding Shiraishi, who had already started getting himself free. And Shiraishi, after being locked down there, realized who she was, that it was the doctor that was the prisoner. And he's trying to tell Ushiyama this, and Ushiyama's like, I don't care. he's going to sleep with her. And he rips the crucifix thing out of the ground and busts through the door. Shiraishi climbs up through the vent. And then a whole scene happens where they're chasing the woman, and Ushiyama and Sugimoto have a short fight. Not a very violent one. They were just kind of... Ushiyama was pushing him through walls. Sugimoto almost flipped him, but he was able to reverse it and land on his feet, and then tried slamming Sugimoto on the ground while he was trying to do an armbar, which, come on, it's not going to work on Ushiyama. And as he was slamming him down, the trapdoor in that part opened up and he fell through. Ushiyama was a bit upset because he said it was starting to get good. Anyway, long story short, because this is getting kind of wasting a lot of time here, they end up blowing up the hotel. Shiraishi had a lot of grenades and used them all. Well, used a couple of them. One of them to blow her up. It didn't kill her, as far as I know. She was talking to Ushiyama. And the rest of them got sent down into the basement, which was on fire because she was starting to burn the place up because it's no use to her anymore. And it blew up all of the grenades. Ushiyama grabbed her and was starting to leave. And the others, they kind of got blowed up a bit, but not too much. Through this entire thing, Sirpa's asleep because of the gas, but wakes up at this point and is like, what's going on? And then looks behind her and sees that the place is blown up. So now they're heading to the city that they need to get to, which I'm assuming, I don't know if they're going to get there this time. I mean, they're going to have a second season, so I'm assuming they're going to wait until then, but I don't know. They could get there at this episode. Let's just get into it and see what's going to happen, because I want to see how this season is going to end. So the video is going to be located over here, and the link to the reaction is going to be in the description down below. And we're going to start this episode in 3, 2, 1.